My name is Daphne Gregory-Thomas, and my essay, I Don't Have Time for This, is being performed by actress Lucy Martin.
On a brisk December day, in the midst of going over a long to-do list, I was thinking about Christmas Eve. The menu for my aging father, who could only eat soft foods and would be coming on a day pass from his nursing home. How we would manage the dynamics of my youngest son and his wife, whose marriage was rocky. Shopping for my grandchildren's gifts. I was not thinking about the MRI I had taken hours before, a result of some pesky UTIs I had been suffering.
It's a nuisance quite typical for older women. But let's just check anyway.
And then, the phone call.
Hello?
Hello, this is Carol, the nurse from Dr. Andrews' office. Am I speaking with Daphne?
Yes, tell the doctor I went this morning for the MRI and to call me when he hears anything.
Well, he knows. That's why I'm calling.
To this day, I wonder why the first thoughts that came into my head were, wait a minute, things are busy enough. I don't have time for this. I had just settled my father in the nursing home, but he still needed daily visits. I had a big holiday dinner to prepare, and I had recently made reservations to attend the Women's March in Washington. I'd already purchased my pink hat. But we don't get to pick what we have time for. We get picked. And although one would like to believe that the rest of life will stop and wait a while so that the ominous outcome of an MRI can be attended to, it does not. Time or no time, this life-changing event would just have to find a way to fit in. Eventual diagnoses, weeks of consults, hours of surgery and rounds of chemo had to find their way around my father slowly dying, and my son and his children temporarily moving in with me. The only march with my pink hat I could manage was around the 10th floor at MSK. Some days I screamed and howled and pity-partied from the weight of it all. I longed to find something to steady me in the maelstrom. Then it found me. A year later, after a visit to my surgeon, his nurse asked,
I've been thinking, you would be really good at this. Would you be interested in volunteering for patients who need that I have walked in your shoes kind of support?
At that moment, still in the throes of a fragile recovery and the continuing ambiguity of difficult family dynamics, I could not fathom how I would once again have time for this. But I agreed to go to a patient-to-patient volunteer training, then attend a panel to help inform doctors about how patients feel. Surprisingly, I found myself ready to tell other patients how I had walked in their shoes and was still walking, even after my life had been so rudely interrupted at such an inconvenient time. I found out that they did not have time for this either. I then talked to them about how I had learned that even when life foisted its other hardest moments on us in the middle of disease and treatment, we could still find a way to survive. I saw faces of those who were in beds I had once inhabited change, looking one way when I first entered their rooms and another when I left. I was able to give them a tiny dose of the only thing they needed: a little bit of hope. I was there to help them, but they too helped me. I soon came to realize that the things I resisted because I had no time for them were put there purposefully. If I just surrendered to what life picked for me, there was an answer for mostly everything along the way. Even though I was chosen for the long, hard slog of disease, I could also find joy and some very special people that I otherwise might not have known. That phone call several Christmases ago that brought me the worst news anyone could imagine also brought me an unexpected gift. It gave me time to learn that some of life's most valuable lessons could be found in every journey. Even those that I just didn't have time for.